Hello and welcome to more Conversations with. The aim of these conversations are to capture specific areas of the work of Leicestershire County Council, the interactions they are generating and the feedback that comes and can be achieved as a result of that. We also want to reflect the wide range of actions and activities generated across the county from these activities in the community, but also in the local businesses, which form part of those communities. And the important role of these communities play making Leicestershire better. Today, we are in the offices of Plastribution. Plastribution Ltd, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. And we are here because Plastribution adopted the model of the healthy working places. They're going to explain to us, introduced in a second, why they did it, how it's impacting and has impacted into the businesses and in the well-being of their staff. I'm going to explain a little bit what the aim of the program is, and then you can say and introduce yourselves individually. I'll let you to introduce individually, say a little bit about what you do, and then perhaps, Katherine, you can just tell a little bit more how it works in principle and so on, and we're going through that.
Yeah.
So the idea of the healthy working places is to provide information, advice, and training for organizations, mainly businesses, to help them and have better relationships or improve their relationships, or indeed look into what they do and have something that helps them to be better businesses and in mind better human beings as well.
Yes.
And that we know from feedback that produces also better business results. So, Katherine, good afternoon, and thank you very much for letting us do it this afternoon. Please introduce yourself. What is your role in the company, and why did you decide to do the program, to enroll with the program, please?
Sure. So my name's Katherine White. I'm Commercial Director for our thermoplastics business here at Plastribution, but I'm also involved in our HR team and have a very strong interest in employee well-being. We first found out about healthy workplaces when we received, I think it's the Leicestershire Matters brochure actually through our door. A number of employees pointed that out to us actually, so we were really keen to see what support we could access. Of particular interest were the health MOTs, because we'd had an employee commented that she'd had those at a previous business and how much she'd valued them. So we've been sort of looking out for a way to offer sort of medical checks and so on for our employees, and had struggled really to access any reasonable rates, to be honest. So we were delighted when we found out that that was something that healthy workplaces could offer for us.
Good afternoon to you as well. I understand, first let us know what is your role within the organization, within the company, and also how did you find the training, how do you find the course, and how does it help you, or indeed how is it helping you now?
So my name's Kat. I'm the marketing assistant at Plastribution, but I'm also involved in some of the committees that implement various employee schemes throughout the company. And I undertook the health MOT, and it was very helpful. It was very useful. I think even if it's not necessarily information that is positive or not what you wanted to hear, it's always useful to have that information, and I think it's helped a lot of people think about their sort of daily habits and just implementing little changes throughout the day that you can put towards a healthier life.
Okay. So I'm going to ask that question for both of you. That's an interesting answer. How long it's been since you've done the training?
I think it was about
3
months ago.
Yeah.
Okay, so although it's not really a long time, maybe this question is really for both of you. Have you had the chance to see any differences from before, and in which way?
Sure. I think a number of employees who went ahead with the health MOT found it really useful, and actually for a couple of people there were some quite serious issues that they were able to identify and then seek further professional advice from their GP. So there's a number of people who are very, very grateful for the health MOTs. I think more generally though, it underlines our commitment to well-being for all of our employees here. So we hope that they appreciate that we value them as individuals, and that we're trying to work together to improve the overall well-being of the business. So
So my final question is more about now looking ahead. So you have done this, you came up from an employee point of view, which is quite good and even better than the company decided to take on board.
Yes.
And the fact that, for example, in your case, Kate, you find it useful. But what happens after? So have you thought or are you thinking about what would happen, for instance, within a year time? Is it something that this is it and helps you to reflect? Or
Yes.
that perhaps it's a question from you, Katherine, are you thinking more in terms of what are we going to do in the future? I understand that obviously it needs to be within the limitations of what the business can do, but anything that you're thinking for the future?
Yeah, for sure. So there were a number of areas that we felt that we could support our employees as a business to be healthier. So as part of the programme, Healthy Workplaces come back to us with some recommendations just around guidance on healthy eating, drinking more water, taking more exercise, support to stop smoking if that's what employees want. So we've been able to act upon some of those recommendations as a business. And we've also committed to undertake the health MOTs again 1 year afterwards so that individuals can see whether they've managed to improve their health in some of the areas that were recommended by the professionals. So for us, it's just part of a bigger commitment to the overall health of our employees. And I think as a business, it's the right thing to do, but we'll also see business benefits in terms of improved sickness records, for example. We expect that, well, we hope that there'll be improved employee loyalty because people will feel valued as individuals and supported here. So I think in terms of the benefit for the business, we expect to see those too.
Let me just ask you this final question. Do you think then employees now are looking to the work in a different way insofar as health and programs like this, whether it's this or something else, is something that they consider matters to them?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So the feedback that we have when we ask as part of our interview process what matters to people now I think really appreciate being treated as an individual and valued, and their whole well-being is part of that too. So we hope that it will make us a more attractive place to work and that the employees that we have will want to stay here.
Thank you very much. Final word from you, Kat. If you have to say one thing that you picked up from the training for this report, what would you really find it very useful?
I don't know if there's necessarily one thing. I think there was quite a few things that, again, then not just from myself but from everybody sort of implemented small habits towards those things, even as Katherine mentioned, if it's like going for a walk at lunchtime or drinking more water or drinking less coffee throughout the day or like cutting down on smoking. I think everybody's found those little values throughout it that's provided them with a healthier lifestyle.
Good. Well, thank you again very much, both of you. Thank you, Katherine, for letting us come this afternoon.
Pleasure.
That's great. And good luck with it.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Thank you.